Ladies and gentlemen, we meet again towards Parashat Noach for a short and sweet idea. I would like to share with you that towards the end of our Parasha, our hero, which is Noach, who started off as Tzaddik Tamim, as a great righteous man, ends up in a very compromising situation when he gets drunk and he lies naked in his bed, and Ham, his youngest son, sees him, and the different commentaries explain what he did to what Ham did to him. But the main point is he made fun of his father, and he called his brothers in to see how he's making fun of his naked, drunken father. And the two brothers had so much respect for their father that they came in with a blanket, walking backwards. They held the blanket together, walking backwards, and they covered Noah's nakedness, and that's how he stayed covered in this blanket until he woke up from his wine. And then he understood what his sons had done to him. He understood what Ham had done to him. He understood what Shem and Yefet had done to him. And also, as far as Shem and Yefet are concerned, they're not on the same level, because the pasuk says, "Vayikach Shem vayefet et hasimla vayelchu achoranit." It should say, "Vayikchu." They took it together. They took the blanket together and they walked backwards. But it says, "Vayikach Shem vayefet et hasimla," which means Shem had the initiative. Shem had the initiative, and Yefet was more than happy to work with him and cover their father's nakedness. And therefore, immediately after that, we find that Noach is the first person in the Torah who actually gives a blessing to his children. We later see throughout the Torah, giving a blessing to your children, to your grandchildren, is a central issue. But this is the first time it happens, that a human being is giving a blessing to his children, grandchildren. And what does he say? He starts off on the negative. He starts off doesn't start off with a blessing. He starts off with a curse. And he says, and he takes it out on Ham, on his youngest son, who made fun of him and who thought this is an opportunity to do something negative to his father, to despise him, so to degrade him. So after cursing him, he actually gives a blessing to Shem and Yefet. And what does the blessing exactly say? It says, Yaft Elokim liyefet, Yishkon ba'alei Shem, V'hiknan eved lama. So the Rabbi Shimshon Raphael here, the great rabbi in Frankfurt am Main in Germany 150 years ago, who was very learned in many schools of thought and in philosophy and religions, says something quite astounding. He says, actually, the basis of a human being's tendency, a human being has three types of a tendency. Every human being has got three types of a tendency. Has a tendency of cham, which means heat, which means passion. He's doing things out of passion just because he feels like it. And then, on the other hand, he's got Shem. Shem means the name, the essence of things. He's got a spiritual side to him. So every person has got a very animal side to him and a very spiritual side to him. And in between is Yefet, which is finding the beauty. Yefet, it's the word Yafeh, beauty. Finding the beauty in things. Yes, he could be a bit more physical than Shem, but he understands he has to find the spirituality in physical things, and he's looking for beauty. He's looking for music. He's looking for understanding how to connect the spiritual and the physical. And in fact, he goes as far as saying that the dominant nations of the world divide up into three. There are nations of the world, all they're interested in is killing and raping and stealing and being Cham being hot, and they've brought a big curse to the world. On the other hand, there are people who are very spiritual, who have brought a blessing to the world, and they are the Jewish people. That's why we're called anti-Semites. So the word Shem says Sem. People who are against Jews are anti-Semites. So we are the people of Sem. We are the people who bring spirituality to the world. And in between us and those killers and those people who are so negative and only bring destruction to the world, in between there is a group of people who were the Greeks, who brought beauty to the world, who brought science to the world, who are trying to find spirituality in the physical. And the problem is, of course, in this whole parasha, why should there not be a Mabul again? Why, when Noach is thinking to himself, how can I bless my children in a way that God will not destroy the world a second time? True, God, Hashem promised not to destroy the world a second time. But how will the world come to salvation? So he says, Yaft Elokim liyefet, may the world of the Greeks and their descendants, all those goyim from Europe and America and wherever they are, make them develop science and music, bridges and beautiful buildings, and let them develop it. Let their beauty shine. But it should dwell, the content should be the content of our spirituality, of Judaism. And together they have to fight. Together they have to fight Ham. Together they have to fight against the descendants of those. All they want is corruption, and all they want is death and rape and stealing and false information and fake news and corruption. Have I been talking about politics? Have I been talking about the war we're in already for a whole year? You decide yourself. Shabbat Shalom.